You're listening.
You're listening.
You're listening
to the International Posit Podcast Network. You know what? It's like Mad Max. You gotta do you. You know what I mean? You gotta kill or be killed.
I'm gonna go on a date dressed up as
Imperator Furiosa.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna look completely normal, and then you're gonna smile, and your mouth is just full of chrome. Or you go in to kiss, he smiles, spray the chrome on.
Before the kiss, witness me, and then kiss her.
Welcome to Three Guys, Three Questions, where three friends test the limits of propriety through the questions we ask. Today is Sadie Hawkins Day, and this is episode 6 of season 5. This week, we're sponsored by running gags that no one has found funny for at least a year, if ever. I'm Aaron L.M. Goodwin, and I'm joined as always by Andrew Savage. Say hello, Andrew.
Hello.
Hello.
Anyan.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
Oh, man.
Well, that got weird real quick.
You don't like Lionel Richie?
I do. Do you like Adele?
I'm gonna confess something, and I guess it's going out to everyone. I have not heard the new song.
You know what? You're better off.
I'm gonna confess something else, Andrew. I have heard the song, and I don't even like it that much.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah, I don't either. That other voice you're hearing is Adam Khaki Pants Anderson.
Hello. I went to the Sadie Hawkins dance in my khaki pants.
I just realized that none of us are probably equipped to receive questions from the ladies if none of us have listened to the new Adele song or like it.
I've listened to it.
But you didn't like it.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's okay.
I like your backpedaling there. That's good stuff.
If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Each host asks a question, then each host gives their answer. Hilarity hopefully ensues, and we move to the next question. Now, today's show is a little bit different. Each question was submitted by one of our female listeners. So we'll get started with this first question that comes from Amiel. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Amiel?
That looks like the name of an angel. It really does.
You know she's going to hear this though, right?
That's awkward. What is the most immature thing you've done in your adult life? Gosh, this is super embarrassing.
And I'm so excited.
Like, I think if anybody's listened to this show a lot, the thing you'll know is that like I remember like all kinds of really bizarre details about things, and this story I actually have to try real hard to remember things. I've tried real hard to block it out. Because it's just, I'm just ashamed of it. So I had this friend, and this is the same person that I set up on that date with the golden retriever of people.
This is awesome. I'm just really happy that this is happening right now.
So she I don't even remember the details around it, but she did something where she had like a get together of people and purposefully excluded me, like did not tell me about it. Because someone else who was there didn't like me.
Wait, was the girl who excluded you the girl who you set up with Mr. Golden Retriever?
Right.
I don't know if it's just because somebody else didn't like you.
Well, here's my question though. Was this before or after
This was before that.
Okay.
This is before that.
She has no reason.
I'm sure she has plenty of reasons, to be honest. Back then, I could not see any.
As far as we are concerned and the listeners, there's no reason for her actions.
There's probably a reason.
Yeah, back then you were such a nice guy.
such a nice guy, milady. So yeah, I got really upset, and there after we were both at something, and I was like, hey, can we go to In-N-Out and talk? Which is the beginning of being a total butthead.
That's like the worst way to start a conversation.
When you're so like angry and frustrated and hurt and nervous that like you say things like that are super melodramatic and like you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said it like that. I should have just said like, hey, I got something to talk to you about, or maybe there's a different way to phrase this, or I could, but I did everything the wrong way.
Can we talk?
You could just say, hey, you want some In-N-Out?
Right.
And
I
now
could
we-
have done that, but I did not. And so
You use the magic awkward words. Let's talk.
Or
yeah.
we need to talk.
So I left and she showed up like 45 minutes later. I'm sure she was trying to find every way she could to not come.
Is that like a power move though? Like you end up late, make them wait for you?
Yeah. Right. No, that makes sense. But anyhow, she showed up, we were talking, and I was like, so I found out you had that like get together thing and you didn't invite me, and that really hurt my feelings and made me really mad. And she's just like, oh well, like
Sucks
like
to suck.
at that time I was so like felt like I was like so unfairly treated, so unjustly maligned. and just like I just felt so poorly treated.
You were the story of the week on Arthur, basically, is what you're saying.
Oh my gosh, it was so bad. So anyhow, I thought she apologized, and then I thought I was being the bigger person by saying it's fine, I forgive you. You know what I mean? Like when she didn't need to apologize to me for doing something with her life. That's so stupid.
But it sounds like she didn't understand the social contract of you being a nice guy and her being a human female.
Right, exactly. Like she owed it to me.
Apparently, she was not aware that you were connected by the souls or something.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, I want to point out I was being 110% sarcastic when I said that.
That's mathematically impossible.
I want you guys to understand how little I believe what I just said.
So I had an idea, and she said like, well, what can I do to make it up to you or something like that? And my idea, this is so immature. This is like something like a 10-year-old does. I flipped over the placemat at In-N-Out, and I took out a pen and I wrote up a contract. And the contract said something like, and then I drew a line for her name because it's super official. Will never, ever, ever, ever have a party or hangout or something and purposefully exclude Aaron. And then I made her sign it.
That's legally binding.
Here's the thing.
I've seen that on Judge Judy.
She has been voiding that contract for the last couple of years.
Oh,
I mean, those never, ever, evers, like, that's a long time.
Every ever is like 100 years. So
Yeah.
she's got
it
a
was
while.
so bad. I'm so ashamed of myself.
You have a lot of parties to go to, Aaron.
Aaron, I have a question for you though.
What?
Do you still have the contract?
I don't.
Did you get it notarized?
I was like, now let me just prick you here. Ow! Now you can sign in your blood with this quill pen. No, I don't even. Yeah.
How old were you when you did this?
Like 23, 22.
Already
maybe.
too old.
Too old for this sort
Like
of thing.
you've graduated. Like you've lived part of your life, like a good portion of it.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. There's no excuse. It was really stupid. I thought I was so clever and so good at the time.
Was she obviously unnerved by this, or were you too wrapped up in your own self to notice?
I didn't notice anything about her. It was all about me. Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. Like I wish I could go back and just like, well, I don't, but I probably should go back in the third person and watch it happen from the perspective now that I
Some
have.
sort of
recorded.
depressing time traveler.
my gosh.
Just to go back and view all your foils.
So bad. And I just want to make it completely clear that I know this is bad. Like I am completely
is that why you
penitent.
made Andrew and me sign a contract that said that we will never, ever, ever stop doing the podcast with Aaron?
Oh man. It's so embarrassing. I'm just like, I need to go like shower Like, I just feel so dirty.
I can hear that the emotional wound is still open and just like breeze is blowing.
Bad. I don't even like to think about it. Like,
here's the thing, like, Aaron, I've known you for a while. I've never heard this story before.
this is like not a story I tell people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Now
trying
you've
to
told
imply.
everyone.
Yeah, I thought it would be more cathartic than it was. It wasn't. It just felt terrible.
You just want to crawl into your hidey hole now.
If you guys don't hear me the rest of the podcast, send the ambulance or something. I don't know what's happened to, but
It's because all you've been able to do is dwell on that.
yeah. Okay,
Well,
hey, next
the
one.
bad part about it is that now you've brought it up, I'm going to keep referencing it the rest of the time.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
It's good stuff, though. I'm really glad that you opened up to us like this. I feel kind of bad because I can't think of like one specific story like Aaron has.
You know what,
But-
Adam? I'm tired of this. We get it. You're
Yeah.
just an adult.
No.
You're just a
I'm-
little capitalist. You're just like the businessman on the go.
I'm just take. But yeah, I don't know. My immaturity is more of a process than an event. I mean, I think the biggest example of that though is that I still get really like petulant whenever I think things aren't fair. So like if somebody's doing well in school, I'm just like, well, they're probably like, it's just easier for them because of whatever. Meh. Or like if somebody gets something that I don't have, I'm like, well, they don't deserve it. I deserve it, but I'm still a better person than they are.
So you're still 6, right? That's what
Yeah,
you're
pretty
saying.
much. Then.
Oh, yeah. I don't know when I gave up on that, but I gave up on that kind of thing a long time ago. Even before I gave up on this other nice guy bullcrap. But I know that feeling because I remember being a little kid and feeling like that about stuff. Like, it's not right.
It's not fair. I'm not getting what I deserve.
Like if I knew the word at the time, I would have talked about comeuppance.
Yeah. Like I think it comes out of this unshakable faith in myself that I am worthy and I deserve things.
How's that going for you?
I still don't have things, but I'm much more bitter about it.
I don't know if that's better. It certainly is
It's just a
evolved.
different side of the same coin.
I said bitter, not better.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm bitter about it because it's not fair.
What you can think of an actual example?
Of course, like I am in the world's like least, like I'm the world's worst position to complain about things not being fair. Though I'm a straight white male. Like,
yeah, you've really had it hard.
there's nothing fair about my life.
Yeah, like
But
your life isn't fair.
in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sometimes like, I don't know, it feels so stupid when you complain about stuff and then then the little voice inside your head is like, have you ever thought about Africa? The other day I got really mad at my phone for something, and then the little voice in my head was like, did you ever think about the little Chinese girl that made that phone? Aw, I'm the worst. I don't know. Some people would say that guilt is bad, but I think it's healthy.
Yeah,
It's
no,
good to
it's healthy to just, carry guilt around
Right.
most of the time.
Yeah, and then it forms a little like a little rock in your stomach.
He's just a little.
Yeah, it
just
forms
a little.
It's a little gem.
It's like this little cest of feeling.
Yeah.
It's this ulcer that carries with you.
It starts to fester for a while.
Hmm.
That's healthy.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, Andrew, what's your
Hey, yeah.
immature thing?
So, I'm a pretty immature person, like as a whole, but I'd say the most immature things I've done have always involved some sort of girl in my life that I tried to get attention of. And I'm sure Aaron can attest that as being correct.
You have this thing. I had it. Obviously, the contract thing proves that.
Yes. Well, it's funny because you mentioned that because I was about the same age that I did this embarrassing thing.
I think it's this thing where you become blind to every consideration other than the goal at hand.
Right. I'm just really motivated is really what it is.
But the difference between you and me is that I would be very motivated at one thing or one person and exhaustively so, like ridiculously so.
I was there. Yeah, I know.
I was like the sniper rifle. You were like the shotgun or like the bazooka or something.
Just trying to get as much collateral.
Yeah, you're
as
just
possible.
like everyone is possible.
Well, it's funny because like right now is the exact opposite. I have no ammo anymore. I'm just
You're
not
shooting blanks.
I wouldn't say that far as much as I haven't gotten out of the tank and I'm just chilling.
Right. You're like, I found a foxhole and I'm staying here.
It's comfortable. There's Wi-Fi here. I'm good. So one of the most immature things that we did, I was actually with your brother, Aaron.
Ooh.
And we were driving somewhere in your old truck. Remember that truck?
Yeah.
It's a nice truck. Anyway, so we found 2 toilets on the side of the road. Just like
As you do.
As you do. Like they're getting ready to be thrown away. So they weren't like, oh, we're going to use these. Like these were obviously used at some point. They were disgusting. They weren't like super disgusting, but they were obviously.
They were like, take them to Goodwill toilets.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Goodwill
we're like.
sell toilets. Who buys a secondhand toilet there?
And I don't want them to.
Anyway, so we took these 2 toilets and we're like, what are we going to do with them? And I'm like, we need to get some attention. I didn't say that, but really came down. We should put these in some girl's yard. So we like painted them and decorated them and stuff like that. And so in the middle of the night, we took one of these.
Now I remember I came home from something.
Yes.
I walked into my house or my garage, I think.
Yes.
And I saw you guys with like paint markers and stuff and you're decorating these toilets. And I just remember making the most Ron Swansonist of faces I could make. Just of like sheer disappointment.
Well, it was pre-Swanson.
And walk away. Yeah, but I mean, that's what I was like. That kind of scowl of like disappointment and this is so just below me. And walking over to my room.
Everyone has to go through the contract portion of their
right, yeah.
of their lives. And this was it. Well, I had many other ones, but this is the best one I can think of. But anyway, so we dropped one of them off in like the middle of the night, like super, like 3 a.m, which is obviously immature because if the idea of being up at 3 a.m. now would just blow up my brain, I just could not do it.
That just means insomnia.
Yeah, it just
I went
means
to bed at 4 last night.
That was the most immature thing you've done in your adult life. Adam. Like, forget what you just said.
4 is at the wrong side of the night, bro. That's like you got up at 4 and you're like, well, okay. And
Why would you wake up at 4? That's the world's worst time to wake up.
I woke up an hour after you went to bed. No, wait, you're an hour ahead of me. I woke up when you went to bed.
That's disgusting. Anyways, back to my story.
It's not even light outside. Why would you? Whatever. Continue your story, Andrew. Sorry.
So anyway, these colorfully decorated toilets we put on the front of their patio or something like that, or the porch. And the next day, like nothing happened. like we thought they were gonna get like all these like calls or texts, like, oh, who the heck did this? It's like whatever. No one cared. It's pretty much what happened. And we're like, well, this is really upsetting.
Did you say your plan circled the drain?
Oh well, our plans were not over.
Right.
So we realized like, well, we still have that other toilet.
So you thought, we're going to plunge in deeper to this.
Yeah. So we went back and the toilet was gone. Like they had put it away. Well, but we had another toilet. And so we colored up and put it on the front yard again. And we're like, this is it. This is what's going to happen.
You're really plumbing the depths of your creativity.
Yes.
Right. You're just snaking it in.
You guys done yet or you have more? I'll wait.
Oh, there's always more, but you can go ahead.
But anyway, at the end of the day, it was like, oh yeah, that was that thing. And that was it. I'm like, oh.
Super disappointing.
It was super disappointing too, right? In that instance, because we put so much effort and so much thought and so much nights and Red Bull.
Meanwhile, I think around the same time, and I don't know if you were involved in this one, but around the same time, we decided to get back at somebody
who would put toilets in your yard.
Come to think of it, this is this contract person too. What?
Who would put toilets in your yard?
No, we were going to get back at somebody for toilet papering us or something.
I was involved with this, and this was probably the most immature thing we've ever done.
This is like the night after, I think, the toilet thing.
Yes.
Or it was like but we bought like, how many tortillas did we buy? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tortillas.
Well, here's the thing about tortillas. Like if you get the corn ones, you can get like 50 of them for like $2.
Yeah. No, even less, man. It's so cheap.
So we're like, we're going to buy like 10 of these. So we bought like $10 worth, and it was like a million tortillas.
It was a lot of tortillas.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and so we we went in the neighborhood where this girl lived with her other friend, and we just took them all out of their packages, so they're all loose. Like you could just hold on to a big old grip of tortillas, and
Didn't we get in the bed of your truck?
Yeah, several
too?
guys got in the bed of the truck, and they like stood up as I drove, like it was like a parade float.
I was gonna say a drive-by shooting, but keep going.
Yeah, drive-by tortilla-ing, and they just threw the tortillas like frisbees and filled up the whole front yard. Was just covered in tortillas.
The roof and
yeah, they're on the roof. They're in like there's a cactus it's stuck in. It was just like, oh.
So people don't know this about tortillas is that they get hard pretty quickly. And the thing is, like, you can see a stack of them, like, oh, that's not that big. But when you have a bunch of stale tortillas, you can't really get rid of them quickly.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of immature,
I realized that's a better story than the toilet one.
So the next question comes from Taylor, and this is
a question in several parts.
I don't know if it's a question in several parts. It's more like 4 questions in one question.
I was going to say it was a novel of questions.
We didn't want to like seem like we were exercising the power of the patriarchy, so we just let Taylor go for it. And the question is it intimidating if a girl makes the first move? Is that still culturally unacceptable? Why does football exist? Whose idea was that? So, Andrew, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. So do you want me to just go one after another?
However you feel.
Okay. So the first question, is it intimidating if a girl makes the first move? I'm going to say, actually, no, it's not intimidating. But I think a girl needs to be prepared for the consequences.
like what? Like you turn out to be an alien?
Well, here's the thing. This is what I'm going to mean. Okay. There is a culture of men that think if they woo a girl, that the girl then is obligated to like the person back. Does that make sense?
Still cannot.
So you're warning Taylor against becoming a nice girl.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to warn Taylor about.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Taylor, you do you, but just saying, like, not everyone's gonna jump in your boat.
I know Taylor. I think that she would look pretty good in a fedora.
What about the neck beard? No.
No,
Okay.
not so much. That doesn't look good on anybody.
Oh, really? Oh,
Imagine that.
time to shave. So you're saying just be prepared to be rejected?
No, I'm just saying that not every time, but don't assume that the guy you're trying to woo owes you anything.
So what Andrew is saying that it's not likely that they will be rejected, but just
I'm not saying like you have to be prepared that might
Possible.
be something
Right.
that happens.
So you're saying that is that culturally unacceptable? Is the next question there?
I'm going to say that if anyone that's trying to date in a reasonable like way, yeah, I think dating is so weird now. It's so weird.
There's no rules.
There's
and
no
all
rules.
The rules.
People are just like chilling and hanging out all the time. They're
Right.
Netflixing and chilling. I don't even know what that means. I do,
I'll tell
but
you
I'm
off
not going to
the
mention.
air, Andrew.
Okay, I'm joking, but I'm just saying, like, if like any form of showing interest in a person is probably okay.
So why does football exist?
So why does football exist? Because men have a lot of anger, and they like to hit each other. And if there's rules involved, then they won't go to jail.
I take offense to that generalization, but continue.
Here's the thing. I like football. I watch football. I enjoy it. I don't play football, and I don't like get super pumped about it, but I enjoy it. Whose idea was it? I'm assuming men. I don't know. Frank. I don't know. Did Frank invent football?
Frank, let me ask Jeeves. Jeeves, can you find out who invented football for me? Okay, he's gonna go look it up. He doesn't know off the top of his head.
How much have you been paying Jeeves?
Actually, he pays me.
Oh,
He
Yeah.
just enjoys the privilege of Googling things for you.
Is
that's pretty much all he
is that
does.
what he's doing?
I think so.
Is that? I thought.
Oh man, that's what's so.
Jeeves, we have something to talk about. What? Walter What? Walter Camp. Walter Camp invented it in 1869.
That's one dignified looking dude for someone who invented something that people get concussions all the time for.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, wow. Okay. Thank you, Jeeves. I don't need you anymore. You can go back into your cage. All right. It's my turn for this question.
Yeah.
This is a weird thing because if I agree with you, I'm just going to say the same thing. And if I don't, then it's just going to be me telling you why everything you just said is wrong.
I'm used to being told why everything I think is wrong. So
I'm
ahead.
the wrong person to ask about this probably because everything is intimidating to me. Like all the things are intimidating.
Is it intimidating if a girl makes the first move? Yes. Is it intimidating if I make the first move? Yes.
Yes. Is it intimidating if there's any movement whatsoever? Entirely.
Yes.
It's just.
Does stagnation intimidate me? Yes.
Yeah, I'm just awful. It just depends on what you mean by the first move. You know what I mean? Like a physical first move would probably intimidate me, like especially if it was out of nowhere. I'd feel uncomfortable by that.
That makes everybody feel uncomfortable.
I'm sure there's some people who that doesn't make feel uncomfortable at all because it's not.
No, there's nobody that just goes walking down the street and then somebody just like touches them and like, yeah, I could dig this.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not saying.
I would agree with you to a point because I think a lot of people want a relationship like on like a movie or television where they just like know and then they start making out or something like that.
Yeah, I think there's
but
people
that's not
like
one
this.
of the other people making the first move. That's the writer making the first move.
Well, I think the problem is people don't understand that's what's going on and they think that's what a real relationship
My
is.
answer would be that it intimidates me, but if it was like making the first move as being like actually bringing up like, hey, I think I'm interested in you or something like that, that's fine. Like, yeah, I think there's all this like hedging and everyone's trying to protect themselves and there's a lot of stuff of like people trying to like win at dating, like they're trying to like put the other person in second place so they know they won the relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's good either. So
yeah,
I think
nobody will admit to that though.
No, nobody.
Everybody be like, love's not a competition, but then they're all secretly thinking, but I'm winning.
But yeah, exactly. And it's I don't know. So for me, a lot of people are like not honest about how they feel, and I think it'd like be better if people are just kind of more upfront. And sometimes that can seem abrupt and seem kind of weird. But I don't know. Especially as I get older, I'm at a point where I'm just like, I don't want to put up with any of the BS.
I agree.
Is it still culturally acceptable? I don't really think we have a dating culture anymore. I don't think that. I think it's just like entirely all up in the air. And then why? I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, but that's just how it is. So you know what? It's like Mad Max. You gotta do you. You know what I mean? You gotta kill or be killed.
I'm gonna go on a date dressed up as
you're gonna
character for your
no. You're gonna look completely normal, and then you're gonna smile, and your mouth is just full of chrome. Or you go into kiss. He smiles, spray the chrome on.
Before the kiss,
Yeah.
witness me, and then kiss her. Just the guys next to me point out witness. Yeah.
The date's just completely normal the whole time, and at the end, you're like, goodbye, I am awaited in Valhalla.
So there's a testing center here on campus. Like you take your test and you have to go to this extra room. And so I did that. We were waiting in line. And like I yelled in front of everyone, like, witness me, I go to Valhalla. And then everyone pointed at me and I went and took my test.
Did you do good on the test?
I did.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Yeah.
As for why football exists, I think football exists because there's not tribal warfare in America, and it's a replacement for that. And then I think the idea of it sprung from people in college looking to assert their masculinity.
Okay.
All right, Adam.
Okay.
Give us the wrong answer.
Yeah. Okay. So, is it intimidating if a girl makes the first move? My answer to this question will probably reveal a little too much about me.
I'm really excited.
I'm going to go with yes, but I kind of like it.
You're like, intimidation turns me on.
So this is your fetish. Is like,
yeah, your fetish is intimidation.
It's like, don't make the move. Okay, now make it.
So you must like be really into like police officers and stuff. Your perfect date is like a woman soldier.
You guys are making it weird now.
I'm trying to think of like the most intimidating, like maybe an astronaut.
That's pretty intimidating.
Well, I mean, just most girls will intimidate me. Like you don't need to put her in
It doesn't
some
take
sort of
much.
weird condition.
Sorry. I didn't mean to imply that you're weird.
If she looks at me, then I'm intimidated pretty much. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Aaron. Like, it's not culturally unacceptable because there is no culture at all. Like we've kind of completely dissolved that. I mean, it's just gone.
Gee, I don't think that's a good thing though. Like, I think maybe I made it sound like I think that's okay. I think.
Oh no, I don't think it's a good thing either.
Culture is useful because it cuts out a whole bunch of wasted time. Like, it's almost like science where experiments help you to learn something so that you don't have to keep making the experiments to learn them again. Like, culture allows you to pass on, even if it is awkward or even if it is not completely fair or it's kind of weird or maybe wrong in some ways, it's still more convenient than
No,
than nothing.
I do think it would be good to have a dating culture, because like if there was, then we would all have a rule set
right
that we would all be playing by, and we would all know the rules, and like we could all participate in this great game.
right.
But right now it's just like, how is things working? I am not no.
So something I've noticed, because I just moved up here from California, and I've noticed that the culture, especially on dating, are quite different. And it is quite unnerving not knowing what's going on.
You're
all
like,
the time.
I gave her a potato with a red string wrapped around it and nothing's happened. What?
This is Idaho way.
No, pretty much the only culture that I'm aware of here in Utah is that if you sit next to a girl in church, then you're dating.
I hated that crap.
That's dumb. No offense to church, but
no, it is dumb. I don't. If you take offense to that, then I'm sorry, but you have a dumb opinion.
That's why I always sat in the back.
Why does football exist? I don't know. I think it's a microcosm of the patriarchy.
Who's the quarterback?
I'm not going to explain myself. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Did you just try to say as many big words as possible in that sentence?
I knew what I meant.
big
I'm just not going to explain
What
myself.
does the hiking of the football symbolize? That's what I want to know.
I'm not saying it's a symbol for things. I'm saying it's a microcosm of the patriarchy.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying it'd be better if women could play as well?
No, I'm saying that it's just a microcosm of the patriarchy. Like, everybody's paying attention to the guys, and everybody thinks that they're the most important people, and then the girls are just relegated to the sidelines to look pretty, and that's sad. So
That does make me sad.
so if you guys liked football, I hope I made you a little bit sad.
But you like football.
And if I haven't made you a little bit sad, then go watch John Oliver's report about football stadiums. It's great. So, whose idea was that? Oh, we already answered that. That was that Walter guy.
Walter White.
Don't worry, he's already dead.
No, he had a different idea, I think.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
He's also dead. Spoiler.
He invented football in New Mexico in a lab. All right. The last question for today's episode comes from listener Courtney. And she asks, what was your reaction when you first learned about periods?
And I assume she's not talking about sentences, like, and how to end sentences.
No, I don't think so.
Just to make that was clear.
She's talking about menstruation.
Yes.
This is another answer that probably reveals too much about me and too many embarrassing things about me.
I love that.
I think that's the reason why the question was asked.
I went to school in Kentucky, so you can imagine how my sex ed classes went.
Something about the devil made them do it.
You
or
just
something?
like went out and watched some sheep for a little while. Like, children, I think you learned everything you need to learn today.
I was probably 18 when I learned like the full extent of what a period was.
That feels a little late in the game.
I'm not even kidding. we would be hanging out with my cousins who were basically all girls, and I was probably like 16 or 17 by this point. And I remember this one time we were at a restaurant, and she picked up her purse, and then like she dropped it somehow, and the contents spilled out, and she grabbed this stick in a piece of plastic. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing!" And I was like, "What? Why?"
You're like, "Why? I like fruit
It's
roll-ups."
just a stick. Why is she so embarrassed about having a stick? When I finally found out like the full extent of what happens, it was kind of like that scene. There's a scene in Doctor Who where he has to leave one of his friends behind forever, and he just like watches her go into her house, and he's super sad, and then it starts raining on him, and his tears are just mixing with the rain, and he just goes, "I'm so sorry. I am so sorry." It was basically that.
Oh, hey, Andrew, how about you?
Hey, yeah. So, I'm like the exact opposite of Adam. I learned about the period quite early in my life, and that was because my mom was not afraid to mention it to me.
I want to clarify. I knew that there was a thing called periods for quite some time. I just didn't know what happened.
It's just so funny. Like it was this closely guarded secret.
So it was not a secret to my household. One of my earliest memories of interacting with my mom was she turned to us and says, "Mom does not hate you. She is just on her period right now." That is the direct quote from my mother. And so I quickly understood that emotions were a part of it, and that there was chemicals going on, and it happened once a month for a week. And but one of the things I remember the most is me and my brother being in like the early 90s. We were super into the Ninja Turtles, and we were pretty creative. Like we would make stuff because we were pretty poor. It's pretty much creative equals poor. But so we would make stuff like the Ninja Turtles things. And so one time we found my mom's tampons.
Oh no! Oh no!
And we took them apart.
Oh no! Let me pause you real quick.
Okay.
Because what just happened in my mind is I came up with a joke, and then I was like, "Oh no! This joke is what is really gonna happen." Oh no! Oh no! Okay, so go ahead.
So what we did then is we took apart these tampons and we tied them together to make little nunchucks that we swung around. And I will never forget my mom's reaction when she walked in on us tying these things together, playing with them. It was just like a mixture of horror and just like hilarity. And she's like, "Guys, don't do that anymore." And we're like, "Mom, no, these make the perfect nunchucks. I don't know what your problem is."
They're kind of soft.
They're soft so I can hit my brother with them without any repercussions.
Oh my gosh.
So my reaction was
your reaction was sweet nunchucks.
Yep.
Well, okay. That reminds me of a time I was in high school in a drawing and cartooning class. And so the class was like these long drawing, like drafting tables, in like rows. And I was in the very back in the far away corner. And I sat next to this female friend of mine, and she like dropped the contents of her purse, and she had like many tampons in there. Like I was like, "Whoa!" So I didn't feel bad about stealing one, and I took it and I started like spinning it around in my hand, by a little loopy on the end, and like people around me were like, "Oh, stop it!" And there's a kid from church that sat like a couple rows up, and he was kind of more he was like, what's the word,
protected?
Not even that. He was just kind of like had a stick. Excuse the term, had a stick up his butt, kind of.
Yeah, okay.
He was like kind of like about everything. So I was like, it'll be fun. I'm gonna throw this at him. So I threw it, and it landed like right on his head, and it fell in his lap. He's like, "Ah! Ah!" That was like a good day.
no.
Well, I mean, I could think like from his perspective, like he probably didn't get a good look at it. Like, what if it's used? You know what I mean? Like, but that was funny. My reaction to that was I was really young. We had these encyclopedias that had the clear pages that had like the different layers of the human body.
I remember those were like the nice ones.
Yeah. And I was like looking through there, and I would always ask questions about it, and I'd always read the entries on the different parts of the human body, and I got to this section about menstruation, and I was like, I couldn't have been reading it and understanding it, so I must have been asking my mom, and she told me, oh, it's like the excess blood that you would use if you're having a baby, but it's not being used that way. So I was like, that seems inefficient. Like, who designed this? This system is just kind of wasteful. Like,
there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, like, why don't you just make the blood when you have the baby? Like, why are you needing to always be making it? That does not make sense to me. And so I was just like really concerned about the inefficiency of this system, and so it made me view female kind as like a sort of like antiquated machine. Like, I was just kind of like, you poor things. It's like I thought of them as like people who still used leeching to cure something. Like, you know what I mean? It just seems so out of place.
And then you went and you created football.
Right.
Remember how we were trying really hard to not be sexist in this episode? Like,
I'm
how you're describing.
I'm like
describing
5, man.
Feels a little bit wrong.
I don't
know if it is or not, but it just feels wrong.
Well, it was. I'm just like a kid. I don't know. That just wasn't my way of thinking about things. I felt pity. You know what I mean? I was just like, we gotta come out with a new model or something here. Like,
science should really get on that.
It's just like, that's how I thought about it. Like, it could be a solved problem. But I've learned better. Thanks for listening. Remember, your ratings, they fuel us. So I want you to go and rate our podcast. I would tell you to go to 3g3q.co/rate to leave your review, but I just found out that's broken and I don't know how to fix it. And you can also
someone will fix it later.
You can also subscribe to receive episodes the moment they're released by going to 3g3q.co. We'd also love to hear from you. So where can people get a hold of you?
I am on Twitter all the time at @A_SAB.
All the time.
Pretty much.
I can be found in the library trying to catch up on science.
Science isn't going anywhere. You don't have to chase that hard.
Or on Twitter. Actually, while I'm in the library, I'm probably also on Twitter. So you can always find me on Twitter at @ThatAdamKid.
I am also on Twitter.com. And my username is Aaron LM Goodwin, not Aaron Goodwin, the famous ghost adventurer. I detest ghosts and adventure.
Why does Aaron Goodwin on Ghost Adventures and then the other Andrew Savage is on Survivor?
I don't know, but we need to get them in a show with Adam Anderson.
Drives a monster truck.
Yeah, that's the new show. Oh my god!
To that podcast.
What was the name?
To that podcast way more than I listened to this one.
Well, that show would be like 3 Guys, 3 Quests. Somebody come up with a good name and tell us the name of that show. Other than that, I want you to remember contracts. Don't make friends. I want you to remember that everything is intimidating to most of us. And I want you to remember that we're so sorry. We're so sorry.
So sorry.
Other than that, I want you to remember to question everything. Okie dokie.
There we go.
Let's do the show.
I'm not crazy. I'm just a little.
A little what?
You know that's recorded now, right?
I'm just going to Sadie Hawkins dance.
She used to call me on my cell phone.
In my khaki pants.
I don't have a
Late
song
night
to
when
sing.
you need my love.
Oh, do you like my sweater?
I'm glad we got you to sing. It's been a long time.
It has been a while.
This will be so good after the the song, the secret track.
I just wanted to give you some opportunities for either the cold open or the weird little things at the end that are embarrassing to me always.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorites. I just like cut them out and put them to the side like a little special treat.
I feel like if you could, you would frame them. Like you would print out the waveform and just frame it.
Yeah. Put a little doily around the edge.
It's like, these are all the dumb things Adam has said.
In visual format. You can actually, there's a website that does that for you.
What's that? What's Blingy?
Oh yeah, no, like carve it into something too.
Do you guys remember Blingy?
What?
Oh,
Blingy?
blingy.
It lets you bling out your photos.
Oh, yes.
BLINGEE?
I do remember that because I remember we would send pictures of people we knew completely blinged out.
Didn't we do the one was like, shut the front door?
Yeah, that one. That was the exact one that came to my remembrance when you mentioned blingy. Is that going to be your answer for the first question?
No. All right, you guys ready to get started?
Sponsored by star.
Oh, wait, what happened there?
I didn't do it.
Hey, we should
I
start.
was going to put Gamergate, but you guys are super against that.
Nope.
Why do you guys hate Gamergate?
Because there's going to be Gamergate people and be like, oh, right. And then there's going to be normal people who are like, boo.
They'll never be normal people who are like, what the heck is Gamergate?
They'll never find out that like that was a joke.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start.
I was expecting to say I'm against Gamergate because I don't feel like oppressing women.
I don't. Not today, at least. All right.
Maybe tomorrow.